Hi everyone, welcome to our fast fashion webinar. Welcome to any new faces and also those returning again. It's great to have you all here. I am Charlene McKeown from CHIC Northern Ireland Beautiful. I'm the education manager, managing projects such as Eco Schools, which is funded by the Department of Agriculture, Environment and Rural Affairs. My colleague Siobhan Purnell is along with me today from our Tackling Textiles project, and we're absolutely delighted to be working today with the wonderful Marcus Hunter-Neill, who some of you might know as the stunning Lady Portia de Monte. Marcus is a prominent equality leader, campaigner for children and international drag queen, and a true environmental advocate. He's going to talk to you all today about fast fashion, its impacts and the importance of style. We're hoping he'll educate you on how to find your own style on a budget and how to shop for pre-loved clothes. He'll share his wealth of experience on your wardrobe, making your own, and tips and tricks to ensure you're reducing your carbon footprint and making sure as many textile plastics don't make their way to landfill. So throughout the webinar, I want you to engage with us. So please use the chat option. Marcus will encourage you to do that throughout, and I'll be feeding that all back to him. And hopefully at the end we can get a wee chance for a Q&A. So please don't forget to put those in there. So before I hand you over to Marcus, I'd like to introduce my colleague and co-host, Siobhan.
Thank you very much, Charlene. Good morning, everyone. As Charlene said, I'm Siobhan Purnell and I'm the Tackling Textiles Coordinator at Keep Northern Ireland Beautiful. My role is to coordinate an awareness-raising campaign around clothing and textile waste, which is quite scary if you start looking at the facts and figures. The campaign will begin in mid-February, called Fashion Forever, and it's kindly funded by the Department of Agriculture, Environment and Rural Affairs. And just a little facts just to get us started. Did you know that we all have about 5 times more clothes in our wardrobes than our grannies and granddads ever had? So what does that say about us? I think as a country, we're over-consuming and underusing our clothes. So the aim of the campaign that I'm kicking off in February is to ensure everyone knows how to dispose of their unwanted clothing and textile waste correctly, but more importantly, imaginatively, and that it never ever ends up in landfill. Fashion really does not have to cost the earth. So that's enough from me, as I'm sure you're probably thankful for, but I'm really looking forward to hearing from Marcus, and I'd now like to hand over to him to begin, and I hope you all enjoy. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, girls from Keep Northern Ireland Beautiful. I'm here to try to keep myself beautiful and you guys beautiful as individually so that we can all make Northern Ireland and the world nice and beautiful. So you're all very welcome here today. And basically what I am going to be chatting about, I'll just share my screen with you. Give me 2 wee ticks. And what I'm going to be talking about today is just nice how to stay fashionable and how to be socially conscious on how to, let me just get my slideshow up here, and where in the world that we should be investing as well. So the important thing is that the world is a very small place, but it's also a very big place at the same time. So whenever we are thinking about where we are going to invest our money and invest our time and invest our energy, sometimes it's not always just in clothes. And a lot of people have this idea, we're sitting at home and we're online and then we're buying this wee thing and buying that wee thing. And then all of a sudden, 5 packages arrive one day and 10 packages arrive within the next week, and then your postman think that you have some kind of like shopping addiction, but only because we're at home. So my name is, as we did say, is Marcus Hunter-Neill, and I work within thought leadership. I do coaching, I do business and personal development and leadership. 20 years I have been working as a drag queen, and I have no shame in saying that I have some costumes, I have some outfits, and I have some accessories that I've been using for the past 20 years. I also work as a social entrepreneur because I'm trying to make the world a better place, and it's all, as you'll see through this whole this whole talk. It is individual people can make a really, really big change. And I love to connect people all over the world. And I do on a regular basis. I'm on Zoom calls and linking people up from here, there, and everywhere. I've done TED Talks, which I'm getting ready to do my second TED Talk, which is very exciting. And the most important thing is I'm a 100% lover of life. And that is the most important thing, because we're in this world, let's love it. So what is coming up in today's talk? I am going to be talking about investing in the future. Also style versus fashion. And that's going to be a big one for us as well. How to tweak your chic. So if you fall out of love with something, there may be elements of how to like revitalize it. Also styling for the seasons and how to take some summer clothes and migrate them into autumn and winter as well. Also how to take care of your clothes, because we can actually end up fading our clothes or destroying our clothes unintentionally. So we'll get stuck in. And if you guys at any point have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to drop them into the chat box, and then they can get fed back to me as well, because I really want to know what you guys are thinking and what you're feeling, and if there's any way I can give any of my advice as well. So here we are. We have got the world. The world is in the universe, and we are all part of it. So we are a very small pinprick in the entire global universe. But what we have to do is take care of the planet that we're on. So this is my friend Portia, and she's delighted because she's got a cocktail in hand and she's got money in the bank and she's on this planet, and she's trying to think to herself, where will I spend my money? I'm not 100% sure where I should invest my money or what I should do. So this is where I would be keen to get some advice or some thoughts from you guys. So if you guys have an idea of where and what Portia should be investing, she's millions of pounds, so she can buy anything she wants when she wants. So there's money is no option. So let me know in the chat, and then I might be able to get some stuff fed back to me. So if you have any ideas of what Portia could spend her money on. So remember, she's in the world. She has anything that she wants to buy, and she can buy it. So if you've got any thoughts of what she could buy, then by all means, let me know. And if anything comes in, also let me know in the chat as well. You can shout it out to me.
Oh, we're getting some really environmentally friendly options here. So we've had probably not what we were expecting. I suppose we've had renewable energy, solar panels. So we've got everybody already thinking on the right track here in so many ways. Holidays. Yep. Clothes. Yep. Cars. Really good wine. We had in there. Yeah. So quite a few coming in there. Developing renewable energy sources, a business, Bitcoin. Great. A party with their friends. Yep. New clothes. A couple coming in different there. Yeah. So all the luxuries, I suppose. Good food, good wine, nice clothes. Medical research we had there, which is lovely. Developing vaccines.
That's very forward.
So we're seeing how people's mindset has actually changed, I suppose, with what we're living in, to help people in need.
Great. I love that as well. So here is what she did. She went on her spending spree, and very close to what a lot of you were thinking. She bought a house. She bought art for the house. She bought jewelry, invested in the stock market. So there's Bitcoins going, holidays, cars, interior design. So she did all of her, the house up. But the thing is, and here is where I am going to ask another question, and I'd love to see what your thoughts are, right? So she's bought all this and she's put herself in the world, and now where would Portia invest her money in if she was like this? If there was no planet, where would Portia invest her money? So if you have any ideas, drop that into the chat now. That would be great. So we don't have a planet, and what has Portia got? Now, apart from a nice dress floating around space, but I mean, the thing is, she might need a helmet and a space mask.
We had someone say a space station or move to Mars, quickly realizing that she has nowhere, I suppose.
That is exactly right. That is so true, because if there's no planet for Portia to spend her money on, then she's not going to be alive unless she moves to Mars. And if she moves to Mars, she'll not be having cocktail parties in a party dress, because she'll be in a spacesuit. So again, if there is no Portia on the planet to spend her money and make changes and be socially conscious, then what do we have? We've got a planet with no humans on it, but there are banks that have got money, but money is no good on a planet unless there are people that are putting it in the right areas. So Portia, thankfully, I had a word with her and I was like, Portia, love, you're going to have to catch yourself on. You did all that spent and you've got a house, but you've got unlimited funds. So what you need to actually spend your money on, which was great. And I love the fact that people were already on this idea. So yourself and the planet. Yourself and the planet are the most important things that you can invest in to begin with, because if you're not on the planet, then the problem is you can't make social changes on the planet. So you have to keep yourself fit and healthy. There is renewable energy. There is the cars, the electric cars. There is Portia's getting solar panels on the roof. Your own health and fitness. It doesn't even necessarily mean that you go out and you run 10 miles every single day, but walking and moving and going for a swim or doing whatever, that's all helping you feel so much fitter and healthier, and your diet as well. So if we eat fresh local foods that haven't been shipped in and flown in, that all helps to reduce our carbon footprint. So if you buy things from markets or the fresh food from individual stores, that's going to make a really, really big difference. It means that there's a lot of stuff. Before we had airplanes, we survived. We're a human race that has been going for thousands of years, and thousands of years ago they didn't have Tesco's or Marks and Spencer's or Sainsbury's, so we all managed to survive without that. It's just the convenience, and I think we've got very used to everything being so convenient. So what we're going to try and do is bring Portia into finding a more eco-friendly lifestyle and still having, you know, her selfies. So finding your self-worth in a selfie world. And that's a really, really big thing, because everything is about instant gratification, buying something there and then, sticking it on, sticking a photograph on Instagram, and then that's it. But what we need to do is think a wee bit deeper. So here is how and why we spend. Why we spend a lot of the time can be through boredom. So people can be online and they can just be sitting at home going, do you know what? I'll buy that and I'll buy that and I'll buy that. And before you know it, you've spent a small fortune. And the thing about it is, the average house has around, they spend around £1,400 a year on clothes. Now listen, I wish I had £1,400 a year to spend on clothes. I would know what to do with myself. I don't even think I spend £400 a year on clothes, because I like to buy things that are individual rather than what the masses have. There has been a 40% rise in men shopping online. And the thing about it is, women now are getting slightly more savvier about, you know, whenever you buy something from somewhere and it says it's X size, and then it comes over and it's like, you say you buy like a size 10, and then it comes over and like it's a size 10 for a Barbie, not a size 10 for a normal person. So women are almost on the idea of, you know, sometimes what it says on the label isn't what it is, but men are buying so many more clothes without realizing this, and then figuring out they buy a medium or a large, and then it's tiny. So we need to be consciously thinking about where we're buying from, what are the sizes, and also what we need. Do we actually need the stuff that we are buying? And half the time we don't. I don't need 5 black t-shirts. I don't need 7 hoodies in 3 different colors, and 2 of the hoodies look almost identical except one has a little patch. Because also whenever you buy so many things of the same look, you don't stand out and you just blend into the background. And you know, life is so exciting whenever you can stand out a little bit more. And you know, how many things do we buy and then we do a read out and then we go, oh my goodness, I can't believe that still has the labels on it. I can't believe I've actually never worn that. It's because it didn't really cost that much. We bought it, we looked at it and we're like, nah. Or we bought it and it didn't fit because we bought something that we thought was our size. But around the world, they don't have the same rules and regulations of sizing. And I know that I can walk into a shop. There's certain shops in Belfast that I can walk into and I know I am going to be the same size in everything in that shop. There are other shops in Belfast that I will walk into and I have to try on 3 different pairs of trousers in the same size because they're slightly altered. So it's knowing your shape, knowing your size, and not just buying something for the sake of buying it. And if it doesn't do, sending it back, or knowing where to move it on to something else. Or if you buy it and it doesn't quite fit and it doesn't quite look the way you thought it would, is there something you can do to tweak that? And we're going to be coming on to how to tweak your chic. So you could do many things with it. Here is a prime example of where we tend to go a bit wrong. So on Wish, I genuinely, I hate Wish. I wish it didn't even exist because I always make the joke that you see this lovely picture of something that you buy and then it arrives and you go, what on earth? The amount of things that I have bought over the years and things have arrived and I'm going, I don't even know what, was I drunk whenever I bought that? What is this? And then you look at it and then you go back through your history and you hold up what has arrived versus what you bought, and they are nothing alike. Here is a great example of how to spot what it is never going to look like. If you see this lady here in the purple dress and here in the gray dress and the blue dress, these are just a computer image of color over the top of that because she's in exactly the same photographic position in every single look. So she didn't stand in that pose, and that's not exactly what the garment's going to look like. They have taken a picture of a model, they've maybe created something that is similar to it, and then they're putting a color wash over the top of it. So first of all, what's going to arrive isn't this lovely grape color. What's going to arrive isn't this blue color. It's going to be something that resembles it. It may have a strap and a bit of material hanging off the side and a split up the middle, but that's sometimes as close as it's going to look. But for example, a prom dress at $15.99, brides, look at this bridal dress. Do you really think that you're going to get a bridesmaid's wedding lace dress with diamonds and sequins for £12 and free postage and packaging? You're not. What will turn up to your house will be absolutely nothing like it says in the picture. So you need to think smartly whenever you're buying your products, and look at it and look deeply into it as well and go, does this, for example, woman's evening dress, it is the exact same position in the photographs, but just different colors. So you need to go, is that going to look the way it does? And if you do buy it and you sort of think, right, well, I have blind faith and I'll buy it and it doesn't quite turn up, don't throw it out. And there may be something that you can do with it. So this is where I'm going to come on to style versus fashion, okay? So either end, we have somebody, this girl lives in Belfast and she is one of the most stylish women I know. And the great thing is, if you follow her, she's on Instagram, and she is called Carmel Smith, and she's one of the most keenest shoppers I have ever come across. She only buys things that can be mixed and matched with several different things. So you look at this lovely, she's got this lovely suit on with a pink purpley top underneath. All of that can be worn 3 different ways. That top can be worn on its own. The blazer can be worn on its own. So can the trousers. Here is, on the other side, a really classic black blouse that is never, so a black blouse and a white blouse versus a black shirt and a white shirt, they're never really going to go out of fashion. And if you tend to go for a nice, simple blocked color, that's never going to go out of fashion either. So these are things that you can wear over 20 years. These are things that you can wear and have in your wardrobe and pull out at any time. So here is an idea of fashion, and that's lovely going down a catwalk, but who on earth would really wear that shopping? I don't know anybody that would wear that shopping. Unless there were, the only time I would know somebody that would wear this outfit if they were playing the Tin Man in a panto of the Wizard of Oz. That's about the only place you could wear that. This as well, this is lovely. It's a kind of middle of the road fashion, but again, it's not really practical for every day, because how on earth do you wash this? How do you get it on and off your head without getting makeup on? So when you're buying things, you need to kind of think, what does it suit me? Is it easy to wash? And where will I wear it to? So I want to just give you as an example. So obviously, it's a very handsome fella here. I don't know who this is. Might be myself. I don't know. But here is an idea of style versus fashion. I would hate ever to be thought of as fashionable, because I have my own very unique sense of style. And that way, anything that I'm wearing is never going to go out of fashion. So I want to talk you through some of my looks. In spring and summer, I wear like nautical themed and vibed clothes. So it's going to be things like little blazers, shirts, shorts. I will throw jumpers over the top of a shirt. And also then in the winter time, I can be wearing like waistcoats, and I will wear similar. If you look at this blue shirt here, then I have got this blue shirt on, but I wear that in the summer, just tucked into a pair of shorts and nothing else. But in the winter time or autumn time, I stick a cravat over it, a wee waistcoat. And if you look here, I have this same green waistcoat on here as I do have here. I have the same cravat on here as I have on here. So that is a way of, I just mix and match everything in my wardrobe. At any one time, I can pick out and I can put it together with anything that I need or that I that I want to as well. So I want to draw your eye as well. Here is me picking up an award for being fashion forward for Specsavers. So I'm Specsavers current most fashionable person wearing glasses. So that's amazing. Love that. And this is Jodie Kidd and the lovely Rylan giving me my award. Now, if you look at what I'm wearing, so I stand out compared to the two of them because they've gone for the safe option of black. And there's Rylan in black with a waistcoat and a white shirt. That's great. And that's so easily pulled together. And you know that you're nearly always going to look good in black. So that's an easy fit. But I could very easily have done a black top as well. But I went for a floral design. And if you look at my pocket, I've got a little yellow pocket handkerchief there. And I have a yellow cravat. Now, notice here, I also have the exact same yellow pocket handkerchief across here. I have the same cravat, the same yellow pocket handkerchief. And all I have here is I'm taking the same clothes that I would wear all the time, and I just put them together slightly differently. Here I am on the red carpet and I'm in a yellow cravat. Now, all I've got here on is a nice waistcoat and a winter coat, but all of these clothes are mix and matchable. If you look here, I have got the same cravat on that I'm actually wearing today. So what I want you to start to think about is if you create your own sense of style. I'm not saying everyone to run around like little Lord Fauntleroy in cravats and waistcoats and things like that there. That's not for everybody. But I'm just drawing your eyes to the fact that all of the stuff that you have in your wardrobe can be mixed and matched between seasons. And it always is very important to make a mark and stand out in the world, because I let you in on a little secret. I'm really severely dyslexic, and I can't read, write, or spell terribly well. I actually had to have this PowerPoint, all the wrong words and the misspelt words fixed just before we came on here, but that's fine. But because of my unique sense of style, once I started working in the BBC on like on a little program, I was on like some government scheme, and I got 3 months to work in the BBC. I dressed like this every single day, and everybody else in there was in t-shirts and jeans, but I rocked up in cravats and waistcoats and nice clothes, and that made people stop and look at me and go, who's that fella there? And then I had the goods, thankfully, because I can talk, to back it up. So I can tell you, on the red carpet when I was doing the interviews here at the Royal Albert Hall, there was nobody else dressed like me, because my style is unique to me, and that's the difference between fashion and versus style versus fashion. Now, here is very, very glamorous girl. Now, again, everything here that Portia is wearing is non-dateable. So the clothes that I was wearing in the previous pictures, you couldn't really put a time frame or an era or anything like that. They're all very neutral styles, but they look very chic and they look well. Now, for example, certain fashions will change. Like, we don't wear flared bell bottoms anymore, and things are getting they're like the slim cut jeans and stuff like that. So stuff like that is completely fine to mix and match, but your everyday fashion, you don't necessarily need to have 100 of a similar looking thing. So I want to just draw your attention to red carpet chic. This dress could be worn in any era at any time. It's a great dress. The same here, as a nice simple black cocktail dress. Here is a nice red sequin dress, and this is a bit vintagey, but the thing about it is this is chic, and it could be worn at any time in any era, and if it looks nice, it will look well. This here outfit here was a jumpsuit, and it is accessorized with a nice black belt, the collar up, and some nice black accessories. And that, again, I could wear that in 20 years. I have this jumpsuit about 15 years, and every time I wear it, people always go, that looks great. And the nice thing as well is it doesn't get boring, and it doesn't get dull hearing people say, you look well, or you must be one of the best dressed people in this entire building. Where do you get all your clothes from? And I get all of my clothes from different places. So here is the same clothes, but I have styled them in very different ways. So for example, I want to draw your attention to this polka dot shirt. Here I am in the summertime, and this was actually in Milan, and I'm sitting outside having some wine, and what was amazing was it was in this sort of like big courtyard, and then there was a drum and bass thing happening, and these people were doing a workshop, and this funky music was coming out, and I had wine, and I was sitting there, and I was like, oh, I just feel so great. But there I was in this just really easy polka dot black shirt and shorts. Now, here I am on the red carpet, and if you notice, I have got the same polka dot shirt on, but with a little cravat underneath it. Here is that exact same polka dot shirt for a press shot that I used. And this is autumn time, because I was doing a thing on the BBC on the John Toll cookery show, and Paula, their chef, loves a thing called dirty carrots. It's her favorite thing in the world when they've just come out of the ground and they're fresh. So I ran to the market and I got Paula these dirty carrots. So that's how I know this is autumn time. This is, I think that was like summerish, but it doesn't really matter because it's a press shot. Here is something that is winter and I have the same shirt on. And here is that just in pure summertime, enjoying the summertime vibes. Here is an idea of how I move nautical, autumn, winter, spring, summer, and there can be a slight crossover in your looks. So I have a nice nautical, it's just a plain shirt or jumper on underneath, and a little thing, it's like a little cardigan that sort of wraps around. Here is a navy style pea coat and cream jeans. So these are all fashionable things that I have. I only at ever one time have one pair of cream jeans. I have one pair of like caramely type jeans, a navy pair of jeans, and a black pair of jeans. And that is it. And if sometimes I'm going through a charity shop, I'll find maybe like a green pair or this pair or that pair. I had a yellow pair, which were quite fun. But I will only ever have what I need to wear, because everything I wear in the summertime. So let me just move this slide across. So in the summertime, if you can look here, so I've got similar types of trousers. I will turn up my my jeans if I need to in the summer, and then stick on a little pair of deck shoes. In the winter time, I'll wear cream jeans full length. So here is the same clothes, but just dressed up slightly differently. And this was a wee thing that I used to do when I worked in the BBC, called lift looks. And it was kind of like, here's what I'm wearing today. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of these clothes I have had for years, or I have bought in charity shops. So the likes of my cravats, I bought those in a charity shop. The this shirt here that you can see, it's a short sleeve polka dot. I got that in a charity shop. I got this particular waistcoat in a charity shop as well. And I got this blue jumper in a charity shop, and these shorts. I didn't get those in a charity shop, but a friend that was doing a course in oh gosh, what do you call it, like seamstressy type things, alterations. They took a pair of my jeans that I didn't really like and turned them into shorts for me. So everything is mixed and matched. And as I was saying, here is the idea of a blue shirt that I could be wearing just tucked in to a pair of shorts. So this is the idea of how you can have a few of key clothing and make lots of different looks. So if you look at these clothes, I look very different in all of the clothes, and it's about having a sense of style and a sense of thought of how you put things together. What a lot of people tend to do is they will buy something online and they'll buy the accessories that go with it. My sister is such a nightmare. I'm not going to lie. Like, she is probably, everything in her living room is from the next showroom. So she has the next sofa, the next side table, the next lamp, the next curtains, the next even picture frames that they had, because in her head, it's all been done for her, and that's her style. She buys her style. Whereas if you look behind me, everything that I've got is slightly different, and they've come from charity shops or auctions or different things that I've picked up over the years. And it's far more interesting than a cream next living room. Nothing wrong with a cream next living room, but if you want to invest in you as an individual person, then you need to sort of think outside the box. Another key thing as well is when we're talking about health and fitness, staying the same shape, trying to stay. Now listen, I'm a bit like Vanessa Feltz. My weight goes up and down, but I try to keep it within a stone either side. And that way I know all my clothes will work, because there's no point having great clothes and either losing loads of weight and then they don't fit, or putting on loads of weight and they don't fit, and then you have to buy more clothes again. So again, if you keep yourself fit and healthy and a similar size, you can wear clothes for 20 years. Now, here is the same idea, but for women with same clothes, different look. People always say Portia must have millions of clothes. Portia's, oh, I'd love to see Portia's wardrobe. I bet you it's massive. Now, to be fair, 20 years of doing drag, it's sizable, but also it's not ridiculous either. And I want to draw your eyes to how I have used similar, the same accessories to change around some looks. So for example, here is a press shot of me in a big summer hat and another press shot of me in the same hat, but I've just twinned them slightly differently. And here is a fur stool, not real, just before anybody animal rights people get on. Here is a fur stool. Here is a fur, it worn here yet again. And here is it worn there. Now, this is all white with a big hat, looks completely different to this red dress. Now, this red dress here was, that was something like £9 or something like that from eBay. And what I did there was I just twinned it with nice accessories. I put really good shoes with it, that nice fur stool, and that dressed up something that was really, really inexpensive. So sometimes if you buy something that you go, that looks desperate, like how am I, or where am I going to wear that? You might have things in your wardrobe that you can twin stuff with. So for example, here is me in a nice pearl necklace with a big diamond in the middle of it. That was from a charity shop. This fur stool here was also from a charity shop. Now, this blue dress is a summer dress that I put to make it look a bit more wintry and a bit more Christmassy. I just twinned it up with white fur. Exactly the same idea here, except this electric blue version, that's a jumpsuit. So that's a white, or that's a blue jumpsuit with the white fur. It looks in people's heads like it is something completely different because it's just been styled slightly different. Now, here is a fun dress down here. This actually is a two-piece. And what I got my friend to do, who was doing the dressmaking course, they made me this little different Christmas outfit. Christmas outfits everybody wears, you know, the red and white, you know, Mr. Claus, Mrs. Claus. And I kind of thought, let's sort of like buck the trend a wee bit and do navy and white. So this is a two-piece, a skirt and a top. And then I got him to make me these little cuffs. Now, I then shook this up, and this skirt that you see here is actually the cape that is being worn in this. So I have turned a skirt into a cape simply by pinning it to the dress underneath. This all-in-one blue dress is a summer dress again, but I put white accessories with it and it looks Christmassy. So I didn't need to go and buy a whole Christmas outfit because I had one friend make me a skirt and I had a fur stole and I had the necklace and I also had the belt. So all I really did was take a couple of summery things, a couple of wintry things, and there I have a really chic Christmas outfit. And it's thinking outside the box of what do I have and how can I make things slightly different. So what I want to do is do something that I love, and it is going to charity shops, because in charity shops you will find things that are not on the shelves, that are pre-loved, and somebody loved them enough to buy them once, and they've either fallen out of love with them or they just don't fit them anymore, and they decided to go and give them to charity. So here, if you go into charity shops, you can sometimes strike really lucky. But at the moment, because we are in lockdown and the charity shops and things aren't open, when I was talking to you about the way eBay and Wish and all those types of things work, and you buy something by a picture, when it arrives, it's not what it thinks. But what I like about eBay is when I was saying about I know my size and I know what fits, here are things that I have bought because I know they're secondhand. They've been on eBay, but they're from a store that I've gone in and tried the clothes on. And I know that if I buy a pair of trousers from Zara that are a 31-inch waist, that is going to fit me regardless. I know that if I buy a 31 waist in the shorts, they're going to be exactly the same size. And the same is, I know that I'm a Zara medium, so that's why I bought a second-hand jumper. Now, this jumper, for example, was originally £35. I got it for £6 plus postage and packaging, so a tenner. Here was a pair of shorts that I bought off season. So somebody was obviously doing a clear out. I got them for £5.50 plus postage. Here was a pair of trousers that were normally in their 25 to 30 bracket that I got for £8 and free postage. These three products I've bought. I needed the jumper, a nice winter jumper, but I know that they're going to fit. So I haven't bought that and then never going to wear it. And when you do go through charity shops, you will be able to find so many incredibly wonderful things. So I want to bring your attention now to here. So this is a guy called Ari, and he is the brains behind a blog and a YouTube or a Netflix documentary called Advanced Style. And he moved from LA to New York and started photographing women only women over the age of 60 and doing a little write-up, because what he saw was all these women had amazing style, and none of them were in anything that was brand new. It was all their own clothes that they just keep tweaking and upcycling. And that's where the likes of Iris Appleby got her real renaissance from, because of being in his blog. So this is actually Ari and I at New York Fashion Week a couple of years ago, and I was doing interviews with him and some of the cast from Advanced Style. But I want you to look at what I'm wearing. So I am in, again, as I said, I do nautical theme for spring, summer. But if you look closely at what I'm wearing, I've got a blazer. I've got, again, similar idea of a shirt and a little cravat. All of these clothes were bought in a charity shop. So I'm at New York Fashion Week and I'm in clothes that I have bought from a charity shop, because what I'm able to do is marry all of my clothes together. Now, this particular shirt that I'm wearing, in the winter time, I can stick under a jumper and it will look equally as nice, and it stays on my trend. Ari as well is he is a big fashionista guy. All of this is from secondhand stores, even his hat. My sunglasses are from a stall that I've seen in, like, you know, in Spain or somewhere like that. They were like £3. I never spend a lot of money. I used to buy expensive sunglasses and then I would break them or lose them, and now I never buy anything expensive that I could lose or break, because at some point you're going to, and then your heart's broke. Whereas these sunglasses that I'm wearing were like $9.99 at a stall, but I've seen the exact same ones on eBay for £3. And what I have done is I've bought the same sunglasses in different colors to tie in with different looks. So still I'm spending £12 on three pairs of sunglasses that I put with different looks, and it creates in people's mind, wow, he's so fashionable. He's got glasses to match this, and he's got glasses to match. But I don't really. I just have a few key pieces, and I figured out over time how to make people think that you have a lot more than you have. So that's a really great takeaway. Here is a how to tweak your chic. Okay, so if you've got clothes that you're maybe falling out of love with, or you have clothes that you have ordered, say online, and they arrive and you're like, what on earth is that? That's not going to fit me. I hate it. I'm just going to throw it out. You see, that's the worst thing you can actually do, is actually bin clothing, because there's so many things that you can do with it. So here is an old-fashioned sewing machine, and that's what kept us going all of these years, is people used to actually make their own clothes or alter their own clothes. So here in this blue dress that I'm wearing here, this was actually a full length dress. This was a dress that had a big skirt in it with a big thigh split, and it came up the front, and then it was high necked with long sleeves. The dress was made for me by somebody as a gift, and I wore it once, and it was not me at all. It was a bit granny-ish. It didn't really look very well, and I was going, here is this lovely material, here is this great dress, it's not my style, it's not me, but what can I do with it? So I took it to a friend, and what I said, look, the skirt part of this dress is so amazing, and there's so much material in it. Let's do something with that. So what we did was we cut the dress in half. I made the waistline here is, so where you see the one shoulder dress is actually what was the waistline of the skirt. I then just got her to cut where the thigh split was and sew down one side, so it gave me a shoulder. And then all I simply did was got her to put two little slits either side, and I fed a belt through the middle, but not the whole way round. So when I wear this, it's almost like I'm wearing a cape dress, but all it is a skirt that has been made into one shoulder and the thigh split sewn up the side. It was a 1 hour job to change that. Now, had I not done that, that lovely piece of material in all of that dress would never have seen the light of day, and I probably would have bucked it out, but I tweaked it around. Also, this dress here, I am at Ascot over in England for the races, and this was again a really nice dress with an amazing skirt, loads of material in it, but the top half of it did not fit my shape and did not fit my frame. But what I did was I took it to a dressmaker, and I said, listen, I have this amazing event to go to. I had to go to Royal Ascot and wear this designer's hat, and all my job was to walk around the Ascot in this designer's hat and get photographs taken. Dream gig, amazing, right? But a couple of key things that I had to think about. One is I need to stand out. Two, I need to be able to wear comfortable clothes, because the difference between being stupid around your fashion and being in pain. Fashion doesn't need to be painful. Fashion needs to be chic and stylish. So what I did was I got her to cut a thigh split up the middle of this. I'm fond of a thigh split, as you can tell. But the material then moved, and I got her to make it floor length so that I could wear little kitten heeled shoes that I had broken in, and nobody would really see my feet, but if they did, it was a little leopard print mule, and it just looked quite cool. So it meant that I was comfortable, because I was going to be walking 4 miles. Had I got her to make it high heel length, then I would have been walking around for miles. One, on that type of ground, that destroys high heels. It destroys the base of your shoes. And also, if you are ever going to anything like that or a wedding, a really good top tip, and you can buy them on eBay and things like that, there's these little spuds that you can buy that you put your high heel into, and then there's a flat base. So it means if you're walking on grass, your high heel doesn't stick into the grass. Or if you're walking on gravel, then it means that it doesn't destroy the heel of your shoe, and that makes things last a lot longer. Here is a pair of jeans again that has been turned into a pair of shorts. Now, if you want to be fun and you've got something and you've maybe worn it a few times and you're thinking, I'm bored of this, you can actually shake things up. if you take buttons and take off the buttons and put on different colored buttons on a shirt, or you learn how to do a sewing machine and you take the cuffs off and the collar and you replace it with a different collar and cuff, then all of a sudden you've got this new shirt or you've got a new blouse. This, for example, if you look down here at the sewing machine at the bottom, this was a scarf that was being made into cushions. So if you've got a nice t-shirt or you've got a nice blouse or you've got a nice scarf or whatever and you're not going to use it, you can turn them into accessories for the house. They don't need to be thrown out. So this is how you tweak your chic into something else. Now, this, for example, was a Pride dress that I wore. If you look at my next to my knee, it was just this simple, plain, spaghetti strapped silver dress. And it was like a Grecian theme. And I got a friend to drape some material either side. I got them to put in this little bit of lace that I got in. These little bits of lace accessories came individual, and I got them in a sewing shop, and I got him to sew them in so that it actually created a nice neckline. And the same idea as I had done here, I put 2 slits either side so the belt could go through it, but the rest of the material, when I walked, the air caught it behind me and it made this really, really amazingly different silhouette and movement to the garment. So here is a few different ideas of how you can change things around. Also, I have 2 pairs of a pair of All Saints boots that I have in brown and I have in black, and I have them almost 15 years, and I've had them resold each at least 5 times. The leather is good. I wear them so much, they go with everything. Just because I've worn down the tread does not mean that they have to be thrown out. There are things called shoemakers, and they will put a new sole on them. And what was great was the tread that I had on the original pair was very slippy. And when I took them to the shoe menders, he put a new heel on them, he put a new sole, and he put a sole with grip. So it meant that they weren't as slippy. So there are loads of different things that you can do. You can have similar clothes and shake them all up. You can take a dress or a top or a shirt that doesn't fit, change it up, shake it up, and put it in a different scenario. Either make a cushion out of it or put 2 shirts together. For example, I had two nice like blouses that were all right, but nothing spectacular. And I took them apart, put them back together as one really long full-length dress. And the amount of compliments and where did you get this and where did you get that? And I'm like, literally, it is 2 blouses sewn together.
I'm just conscious of time, so I know you have a couple more slides. So on
Sorry.
questions here. No, you're okay, and we're loving it. So I don't even like interrupting you, but I know
I'm not too far off. Here is same season, different style. So this does exactly what it says in the tin. And I've talked about this previously. So here is the same shirt. Here are the same style of clothes on all the different seasons, worn slightly differently. So we don't need to go across that. Here is my top tips in taking care and looking after your clothes. So for example, I don't have a wardrobe. I'm able to physically see all of my clothes. If I can see my clothes, I am not going to forget that I have them. When you shove things into wardrobes and you can't see them, then you can't actually, you forget about them. And then they go into the corner, and then they get thrown out and you go, I forgot I even had that, I'm bored of it. Ironing clothes is good at times, but also it can damage the fabric. So can washing things and tumble drying things can damage the fabric. So only wash things when they need it. If you've worn a shirt and then you put a jumper over the top of it, that jumper, unless you've dropped something down the front, it doesn't need washed every single time you've done it. 1, you're going to lessen the fabric color, and 2, you're using up electricity that you don't necessarily need to use. I'm a great fan of a bit of Febreze. There are some of my dry costumes that I can't physically wash. It would destroy the garment. So Febreze and airing it. So if you air your clothes, that actually helps to get rid of just like smells, not necessarily if it's BO or anything like that there, yes, spray and wash them. But if it's a simple thing like, you know, just everyday, you know, fumes or whatever, or it's just smoke. Sometimes years ago, whenever people used to smoke indoors, clothes would be covered in the smell of smoke. And have a policy of, if you're bringing a whole stack of new clothes in, look and see, can I get rid of other things and donate them into shops? So to sum up, to look after the world, you first of all have to look after yourself and shop smartly. Shop on eBay and shop on things that you know, if you're buying online, fit you and will work for you, and don't get sucked into the likes of these Wish looks where it's £12 for a beautiful sequin ball gown. Find your own sense of style. Don't be a slave to fashion, and your clothes will never go out of fashion. And also do dress. If you have a sense of style, you can cover all seasons with all of your clothes, and Febreze can be your best friend. So together, teamwork can make the dream work, as long as we look after the environment.
Do you recommend any particular charity shops that you find particularly stylish or that people should go to? What ones do you shop in?
So best charity shops to go to are in wealthy areas. So if you go to places that you know that they maybe have a wee bit more money, then they're going to have a wee bit more money to spend on their clothes, and they're going to have a wee bit more money, and they're going to be nicer things. I have bought loads of like this particular shirt I'm wearing is from a charity shop, and it's a good label and a good brand. So you can't say that there's any one particular charity shop that's better than the other, because you don't know what's inside it. So have a look in them all.
And then actually it was commented as well, do you think if we hadn't all, I suppose, bought into this whole idea of fast fashion, that actually our charity shops probably wouldn't have as much, like the kind of chicken and egg, which came first, you know?
No, because some of the charity shops are actually now stopping taking in the rubbish clothes. So they were getting a real influx. The ones right near where I live, they don't take in Wish clothes or the stupid things that you buy on eBay. They're going, like, because we can't sell it, because it's a false economy. You're buying these clothes and then you're giving, and the charity shops are going, we've got too much. It's like if you go to cash converters and you're trying to sell them CDs and you're going, listen, do you want to buy these CDs or these DVDs off me? And they're like, no, we've thousands of them. So if charity shops are also selective of what they take in and use as well.
Another one there about branded clothes. I'm really conscious of time. Somebody said about like brand things, like, you know, like your Nikes and your Adidas, like sportswear. Do you think they're worth the money, or do you think they're overpriced?
It depends. Again, if you're buying like a good pair of Nike trainers or tops, they're equally as well made. If you want the brand and you want to wear the brand, that's fine. But it's very similar made to something you would get in Primark. But if you invest in the brand, then that's fine. Wear it, and that makes you feel great. But you don't need 16 of them of the exact same hoodie.
After them, I suppose, so that you can really wear them. Do you sew yourself?
I don't. But what I do is I have a friend that does. I have a sewing machine, but I just don't know how it all links up. But because I have a friend that can do all of that stuff for me and gets my sort of idea and vision. But if I ever didn't, I would learn how to do it myself, because it can be, the simple thing is you could have a shirt and lose weight, and you maybe just need to put a couple of wee darts in the back of it. That makes it a bit more tailored. And if you put a bit of weight on, you can unpick the darts and let out the shirt.
Well, we're going to have to wrap up. So, Marcus, I can't thank you enough. I have absolutely loved having you on board, and I can't wait to see what you're going to do with us next, which is really exciting. For anybody that wants to watch this or share with their pupils or share with their friends, it will be on our YouTube channel, our School's YouTube channel, in the next few days. So please keep an eye out for everything else that's coming up. We're super excited to be working with you, Marcus, and honestly, we can't thank you enough. I've loved it. I've had so many comments from people saying they absolutely loved what you had to say. So thanks a million, and I suppose that's us for the day.